Whoop, here down. Get a 25,000. Get a 25. Get a 25. Get a 10,000. All the money. Get a 11. Get a 12. Whoop, here 12. Get a 13. Get a 14. Get a
You gonna call it later or not?
16. Get a 17.
He's on right up there now.
17. Whoop, here 16. 17,000. Get a 18. Get a 18. Get a 18. Get a 18. Get a 19. Get a 20. Get a 20,000 bid. Whoop, here. All through, all done, I have sold $20,000. Sold $20,000. Thank you.
All right.
Goodness.
We are going to Kirtland, New Mexico. Houndsmen in the East, you've got the Grand American, you've got Autumn Oaks, you've got the Winter Classic, you've got all this cool stuff and all these places that Houndsmen come together. And I'm lucky enough to have Trey Narramore and Wade. What's your last name, Wade?
Wade Hatch.
Wade Hatch. Yeah. And I knew that. I was drawing a blank. I thought you guys would get locked jaw and get nervous, and then I freaked out and couldn't remember your last name, Wade.
No worries, my friend.
And I've got you guys on here because of the sale that's coming up in Kirtland on July 21st and 22nd, the horse, mule, and hound sale. I got the guys that are behind it and the promoters and man, I'm glad you guys came on. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
Thank you. It's quite the opportunity you've given us to visit with you and showcase what we're trying to accomplish.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's just one of those deals that, you know, Western houndsmen need a place to come together and call an event that's their own. It's such a long trip back here. And I'd really encourage anybody to try to make a trip back to Autumn Oaks or the Grand American or anything like that. But where you guys live, I just came back from there, same part of the country anyway, and I can understand why you never leave.
Yeah.
It's
Big
awesome.
mountains.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
Lots of fun.
I've been quite a few places, and it always seems like I find myself ready to come back here even after I visit some place that most people really enjoy. It's just something about the landscape.
I'll tell you what, man, I come home from out there and I get home and my dogs look at me like, what the heck are we doing back here? And I'm asking the same question.
Yeah. And there is some places in New Mexico that are pretty flat, remind you of the Texas Panhandle. And it seems like you get here for a little while and you think, gosh, I need to head west. Just, you don't have to go very far or get up in the elevation and get back in the mountains. But flat country make you miss it.
You got it, man. Well, why don't we just dive in? Tell everybody what this sale is. You guys are going into your second year on the sale, but let's get some backstory on you two before we jump, head first into the sale part of it. What's your background in hounds and houndsmen and horses and mules? And let's just talk about all of it, and then we'll talk about what's going on at the sale.
Go ahead, Wade. You can go on that one first.
Okay, so we'll go with the hound dogs, and I have quite the mule story. My grandpa had been an avid houndsman since he was 20 years old. He didn't have he had a kind of a black and tan, some coon hounds, and he was a teenager, but he had lion hounds from 20 years on and past that age. He's grown up here in the Four Corners. He grew up in the trading posts on the reservation, and all we did was handle basically just trading post type business out there. And he came here and he lived in the Farmington area all his life. And when he was training racehorses, he's trained a lot of racehorses when he was a young man. And then as soon as he quit that, he met my grandma, and that's when he started getting into lion hunting. And he's had hounds. Well, I guess it would have been 52 years he had hounds.
No kidding.
He had lineages of dogs, and he tried everything under the sun. He had walkers and black and tans, and he started partnering with a friend of his named Jim Farmer in southern New Mexico, and he kind of almost has his own style of hound. They're really big red ticks, all dry ground lion dogs, and then he had a bunch of bear dogs he'd partner with Van Johnson. And they were the bestest of friends, and they traded a lot of hounds back and forth from each other.
We've had Van on the podcast.
He's a great guy. He's a dear friend to us.
Yeah.
my grandpa passed away in the fall of 2020 when my freshman year of college, and I had about 16 hounds at the house, and I didn't feel like, there's quite a bit of equity in those dogs, and I couldn't bring myself to feel like to sell anything. It didn't feel right. So every one of his friends, I gave a couple to Van Johnson, a couple to Billy Havens, a couple to Jim Farmer, a couple to Rusty Herrera, and I kept a couple dogs for myself. And I didn't know what to do with them when I was headed to school. And Trey and I had just met. I mean, we knew each other, but we had just started visiting about hounds. He was really getting into it, and he had purchased a couple dogs. And I offered him, I said, Trey, would you be interested in taking some of my hounds? And he had a bunch of young dogs at the time, and he had one really good finished female. And I said, would you be interested in taking my hounds and just hunt them with your young dogs, and they'll get everything finished? And he said, yeah, no problem. And from that moment on, we've talked dang near every other day.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your grandfather's name?
Ray Hatch was my grandpa's name.
Wade?
Ray.
Ray Hatch. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I bet you some of the old timers, some of those legendary hunters that listen to the podcast would know that name. And I'm looking forward to learning more about him.
Oh, absolutely. He's a lot of fun. We got in a lot of wrecks together. We'd never a dull moment. So I can talk about quite a few stories with that. And Trey, he's been a great friend to me, keeping my hounds all that time and using them. And I couldn't take him to school. That's not a good environment for hounds. I couldn't imagine trying to keep one in a dormitory complex, and neighbor's cat or something. That wouldn't be very kosher. And then on the mule side, that's where we got the mules from too. So I believe is in the late 60s, he set the track record at Bishop Mule Days racing mules. He had a real famous mule called Sunday, and he had her forever. And we always had a mule around the house, and I had plenty of mule stories too. He was the pilot for everything. He'd make me pull those mules around, and oh gosh dang, we had some bad ones. But we had a lot of fun too. In fact, we started naming mules a day of the week. So we started at Sunday, and then we go to Monday, and then we go to Tuesday, and so on. And the last mule that I bought with him, we roped her in a little pasture just down the road from the sale barn. She wasn't 2 miles from here as a 2-year-old. We roped her and pulled her in the trailer, and I bought her on Black Friday. So we just called her Friday. And then him and I broke, and that's the only mule that I still have right there. I just have one mule, and I just have one good one's all. I've been through plenty, but I just have one at the house right now.
She is double good. She's super good.
Yeah.
She's kind of the ranch, and I take care of cattle on her and land and rope and everything. She's kind of a utility player.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Trey, what's your story?
Well, it's kind of
we kind of got some of it here, but let's talk about pre Wade days.
No, it was kind of funny how it worked out, because when I guess when I was in high school, none of my family was in the auction business, and Wade, we grew up right 2.5 hours from each other, Wade, or something.
Yeah,
I lived just south. Yeah. Which, I mean, our families knew each other the whole time, but I roped and ranched a little bit when I was growing up, and when I got into high school, I started auctioneering, and would go and I'd do the county fairs and do all the stuff I could. And then when I got to college, I got lucky enough and I went to auctioneer school, I guess my senior year of high school, and then I went to college and was fortunate enough to get a job at some of the cattle auctions around, like in eastern New Mexico and the Texas Panhandle, and it helped it helped a lot. It helped pay for college, and I had a heck of an education. Just I guess I was getting a dual purpose education, because I was getting to go to in college and ended up graduating and with the finance degree, and then I went and now I don't even use the college degree. Now I just auctioneer for a living, but which has been good. But along the lines there, it just worked out. I was I think it was COVID, right, Wade? I started I think we bought our first dogs like in 2019 or something, and then COVID hit, and there wasn't, I mean, we just didn't have nothing to do. School was out. I think I was all online. And that just worked out perfect because Wade and I mean, we like all the same things. We both like the cow sales. We love to rope. We love ranching. We love trading cattle. We love hunting lions. And we like messing around on them dang mules. And we like, we love the hounds. So it all just worked really good because I auctioneer and Wade's family's in the auction business and lion hunting business and the mule business, the whole deal. So it's kind of, it all just clicked. We got a lot of things in common, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's a cool part about your country. Everybody can ride. I don't know. I wouldn't say that everybody can rope, but I saw a lot of working, people working stock and off horseback, and that's kind of a lost art. Anything back where I'm at, and even really, when I travel up into Montana and different places, seems like the cowboy culture is strong down there in your part of the world.
Yes, sir. We live. I mean, we crave it big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sure. We do. We, that's what some of those. There's been people call us and about some of the mules and the horses and stuff, and I like to emphasize that some of these, when a guy calls from over here and a guy that hunts lions or cowboys on his mules, ranch mule or something, I have to emphasize, when they go gather cows on them or go hunt, they leave the pickup in the morning and they might make a 20-mile circle and be back. Things they're used a little differently over here than they are back then, back over there. And they're just, like I said, they sure have a job over here.
Well, your country is so much bigger and the ranches are
Absolutely.
bigger. And,
yes, sir.
Back east here, if you've got 200 acres, you've got quite a piece of property, and out there 200 acres, you can see that plus about 20,000 more from one of those rims,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So it's amazing. And I'm not going to bore you with my mule stories. I had mules and so I've got a special place in my heart for it, but I'll tell you what I'd like to do before we get into, the other stuff we're going to talk about but let's talk about mules. We've never really dialed into mules on this podcast. We've talked about hounds and we've talked about, how to train hounds and all that stuff, but what makes a good mule? If you're going to sell, if I came out there and I was looking for a good, solid hunting mule, what would you tell me that I need to get?
Well, I would say gentle is absolutely is the main thing, but at the same time, you can't have one that's that would be lazy or one that is going to brush you up underneath something. Or not saying that some of them things won't, but one that will take care of you out there is a big part. Wade and I were talking, and there was a mule that I'd got, and he said, "Man, just jerk the shoes off that thing, and our ground, or it's so dry over here, and that old mule's feet will get hard, and he won't be sliding around on that slick sandstone with barefooted, and
yeah,
and I think that small things like that." If we go make a circle and now my wife bought me an inReach and it's kind of a little different, but when I first was going, I didn't have nothing but just my cell phone. Well, then you lose service and you sure want one you're going to be able to make it back to the pickup on, and whether you're hunting or you're trail riding or moving cows or whatever it is, I don't care how cowboy you are, when you get on one that is going to be good all day long and isn't going to try to cut you off or back sometime in the middle of the day, it makes your day more enjoyable, I guess. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. I mean, we're dang sure trying to keep our quality good and got a lot of good consigners
Right.
and want to take care of everybody.
The Houndsman XP podcast is fueled by Joy Dog Food. Joy Dog Food has a rich tradition of supporting the Houndsmen of America. Founded in 1945, Joy is proud of its history and the relationship it has built with the American Houndsman. And in 76 years, there's never been a recall. Made with 100% American-made high-quality ingredients, Joy Dog Food has one of the highest calorie-dense formulas on the market. For 76 years, this made-in-America product has kept hunting dogs in the field day after day, season after season. And when we say made in America, Joy has a long track record of fighting for American freedoms by being on the front lines against the animal rights movement and their extremist tactics. Joy will fuel your hounds and fight for your freedoms. Fueled by Joy.
Yeah.
Well, what's your experience on mules? You always hear that, a mule never forgets anything. They if you're good to them, they'll be good to you. If you do them wrong, they're going to get you back. Just talking about, just chatter around it. What's your opinion on something like that, Wade?
A little backstory before I go into that. My dad used to break colts full time. That's all he did for about 10 years. And most of those years, he just had him and a helper, and he'd start just between 180 and 215 colts a year. So that was a first ride every other day or every day for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And we figured it up. By the time my dad, we called it Lucky Aces and Eights. By the time we opened that and closed it, we had a little over 1,000 colts come through that place before my dad started auctioneering full time and running the sale barn. And in that time, I spent a lot of time around him breaking colts and everything. And we was always riding a mule for my grandpa. And it always seemed to me that from the beginning, a mule either had its best interest for you, or it was looking to get you off of it. There was hardly ever any gray zone. It was always, okay. For example, I got into a bad mule deal, and I had to scotch foot to get on this mule. It wanted to spin out when I got on it, and I thought, well, no problem. So I jump on it, scotch foot up, and let its foot down. We ride off, and man, it's ginning right there in the round pen, and everything's fine. I thought, well, I just lope it in the arena, and man, I'm loping it around there. This thing just runs off. And again, this is one of our project mules and my grandpa's, so we staying hooked now. And I'm thinking it's a pretty athletic mule for how fast we're going right here. That's how many of them Bronchi summon guns I had to ride. It didn't even phase me. He's running off. And about halfway through, that summon gun just went to bucking and was not bucking. Not going to quit bucking. And I had on brand new Wranglers, and my little mule saddle had been rode so much is polished, And man, that gun was shaking me loose now all the way across the width of my arena. Finally got to the fence and rode me down on the fence, kind of fell down there and run my foot into a post, and man, hurt me kind of bad. And everything. Well, anyways, as soon as she rubbed me off there on the fence, that mule just quit bucking. She's just looking to get me off. And then I've had, Trey and I've had mules. For example, we had a gentleman bring us some mule laws at the college college national finals rodeo. And I brought her to the sale barn here, and I was punching cows on her there out back. And every instance that mule could have got me in a bind. We was shoving bulls around that weren't any good. And, I was trying to hook a horse or folding papers in your shirt pocket. You wouldn't believe it, but mules are sometimes real funny about picking stuff out of your pocket or touching your hat. It's weird. You can be clicking along there and pull your pin out to write, and they can hear that click, and they might want to take off if they're looking to get away,
Yeah.
And Trey said, "What do you think of that mule?" I said, "Gosh dang, Trey, I said, this is a safe son of a gun. This is one of the best mules I've been around." And I always felt like they always just fell into two categories. Where a horse, there's a lot of gray zone. You can kind of train that out of them. But I think a mule, however they're instilled when they're colts or halter broke or whatever their relationship with the person is from the beginning, is how it's going to be for the rest of it, unless something drastic happens. But for the most part, they're either going to be for you all the time, or they're just going to be kind of against you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Trey and I sure I mean, we're looking out for the best interests of the buyers and the consigners. It's a mutual agreement. We benefit when everybody else benefits.
Sure.
So when we're looking at these mules they bring us, we're asking them questions, how they feel about it. And then we know everybody that brings a mule pretty personally. We know what kind of character they are, what their lifestyle is, and how they do business. So when they tell us something, we know that we can go with it. And if they tell us, hey, this mule is a little frosty, this needs to go to a cowboy, we're going to make sure it's going to go to a cowboy. If we have somebody that says, you know what, we need a really nice trail mule for our grandkids to be able to enjoy in the mountains, well, we're going to make sure they get matched up with the perfect mule for that person, and like a cowboy that's needing to work cows all day, he probably doesn't need that really gentle, easygoing trail mule, because he needs to be going a little faster than that all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but that mule that worked perfect for him probably might not work for the people that are just needing a trail mule. So our whole business is just matching up owners with buyers and making sure they get the product that fits for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. So what kind of traits are like, I mean, they either make or break the deal when you're looking at mules? Just say, you're just out buying mules and not necessarily for this sale, but like you used to, Wade. You pull in somebody's barn lot there, and they had a mule standing out there. What are the things that said, yeah, I want to buy that mule, and the things that made you turn around and walk away and say, I'm not buying that thing?
I'm going to say just general disposition. There's a couple things you want to look at conformation wise. It's not necessarily as applicable to mules that it is horses, but it's always nice to have a good looking animal. It never hurts anything. You know what I mean? You want nice proportions back. I always like, it's not too often, but I always like mules with little heads. It seems like there's always out of better jacks that way. You know what I mean? A little more refinement to them.
Mm-hmm.
I like a good disposition when I walk up. When they're friendly, they want to come to you. They want to be petted on. They're usually, that's kind of a good sign. And then when I saddle them and stuff, I can kind of tell. I throw my saddle up there. I go to cinch them up. I'm kind of looking at them. I'm going to ride them off. I can kind of tell if this thing's going to be bronky or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's they kind of I call it, they kind of get a little corner out of their eye there. They're not just, they don't have that nice soft kind eye, hey, what do you want me to do here? They're kind of like, oh man, what's this guy wanting to do with me here? It's just there's a general unease about them that you can tell. And then if you get a mule that is gentle, you can tell that there's a definite ease about them. There is absolutely no tension in them. And mules are pretty upfront about it too, for the most part. Every once in a while you'll have some I've seen some mules that be kind of the other way. They'd be gentle and everything, but then if they did something you didn't want to do, they weren't okay with it. But for the most part, they are very upfront about their disposition.
Mm-hmm. Trey, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say that, just we've been riding horses and doing this since we were little kids, and both of us, both of us understand that there's no gray area in that field. They're either good or they're not. It's that's one good thing about mules. They're either good or they're not. And both of us understand that, and both of us are working towards the same goal. During the sale, we want to match everybody up with the right one. We don't want somebody to buy something that we don't think is going to work for them, or anything, along the lines of that. We don't want to do that. So we want to match up the right product with the right buyer.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'd love to sit here and talk about mules, and we're going to have to do that one of these days for sure with both of you. Cause mules are just something that, they've got a deep culture, even back here in the East, in the Appalachian, in the Appalachian regions. And then I always told everybody, I was a conservation officer for 28 years. Just, I'm telling you guys that the audience has got that multiple times, but
yeah.
I used to pull up and ride the bridle trails and stuff and make sure that, and I'd ride through the campgrounds and stuff. And, I always got a lot of looks, man, when I'd unload a mule and ride a mule on on saddle patrol, but she was solid, and just like you guys said, she took care of me. and I took care of her. She could be a little bit ornery. I think she had a mare that was, her mama was black. She was white, but I think she came out of a black mare because she was sour. I mean, like herd bound on black horses. It was weird.
I'll be darned. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really strange. A bay could walk by you, a gray could walk by you. You know, I rode with guys that had all kinds of different color horses and stuff, but we had a black filly, and she was in love with that thing. And I think it's because her mama was black. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Wade's got a good. He said. He says them mules are just peculiar. So that's right. That's right. You know.
Yeah, she was manageable, but anyway. All right, so let's jump into what you guys got going on. You guys are selling horses and hounds, but I really I like the idea of making this thing like a hound hunter's rendezvous for you guys out there in the West. I'm jumping on a plane. I'm coming out, and we'll be out there as well, even though I just got back from there. You guys gave me the perfect excuse to come back. So
yes, sir.
Tell me what you got going on, what your plans are, how you guys are going to run the sale, whatever you want to tell us about this sale. Here's your pitch. Here's your opportunity. Give us a pitch.
Okay, so I'll say one. I mean, we just, you know, like I said, we both like the same things. You know, we both like the dry ground line hunting, and Wade, they've hunted bears, and that's our goal, is to sell big game hounds in the Western United States. You know, that's horses, hounds, and mule sale. That's what the horses, hounds, and mules, and that's what we're going. I mean, we're selling the big game hounds, and we're really striving for the good genetics on the dogs, and good handling mules, and good ranch horses, and good hunting horses, and everything that them guys can use in the western half of the United States to, you know, outfitters and everything. So Friday morning, we're going to have us a trail ride and preview on the mules and the horses, and that'll be on the 21st of July. That'll start pretty early in the morning before it gets too hot, and we'll do that, and all them consigners and stuff, they'll be there and have their mules and horses and everything there for us, and then we'll sneak around there.
You can test ride before the sale. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Yes,
wow.
Sir. We want you to bring your stock, or bring your, if you're living close enough where you're driving, or however, bring your saddle, and I mean, you test drive a car before you buy it most of the time. You know what I mean? We want you to be able to get on that horse or get on that mule, and be able to ride them around. And we want you to be able to talk with the houndsmen that we have there that are going to be consigning hounds, and we want you to be. I mean, this is Wade is, and I've said this before. I think I told you this before, Chris, but Wade and I, we have jobs. You know, we got jobs. We're not doing this for a living, but we enjoy this. Like we know this, and I mean we love this, and we want this to be really good. And we don't, you know, we're not just doing this to make money. I mean, this is what we love to do. We call each other and we talk on the phone about all this all the time, because we love auctions, we love horses, and we love riding the mules and hunting lions and bears. And that's just, you know, we want everybody to feel comfortable at our sale. We want everybody to come and be able to have a good time, and know that when they come to our sale, there's going to be good product there that they can, our consigners can stand behind it, and we can stand behind and say, hey, this is something good. This is something good we're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So
who's heckling you in the background there, Wade? We're going to call him out right on an international worldwide podcast.
We're going to go ahead and have my dad do a pop-in right here. Better. In fact, I'm in the auction barn's office right now. I had to borrow the Wi-Fi. So he's over here kind of teasing me about our interview.
You bet.
I don't know about the JOBS. I think
he says I don't have a job. I don't know. He keeps me pretty busy all the time. You know what? I decided it's not a job if it's your lifestyle and you enjoy it. So that's a good way of
That's
Yeah.
what Shorty Gorham, he always says, find something you love to do and you'll never have to work a day in your life.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so sounds like you guys are on the right track. Hey guys, have you checked out OnX? Seriously, I'm coming off of a 2-week trip in northern New Mexico, and I cannot tell you how important OnX was for me. It was a deal where this is an easy product for me to talk about just based on a 2-week experience. When you go into new country, and I've never been in the Paloma Ranch country, northern New Mexico before, with all the features and OnX, I was able to get a really good grasp on that country and understand it at a level that I never could have any other way. There's features in there about tracking yourself so you can make your own tracks and keep track of where you've been. That's important when you're trying to navigate and head off hounds and learn trails. It's sped up the learning curve so quickly. And terrain features, you can look at topo maps, you can look at like heat maps that show you the degree of angle so you know where those big drop-offs are, know where your dogs are headed. I can't say enough about it. You just got to get into OnX and check out all the features. Go to onxhunt.com and get the Elite subscription today. Use the promo code HXP20 and you will get 20% off of your subscription, your annual subscription to OnX. Know where you stand with OnX. So where are you finding your stock for this sale? You guys going out and looking at this stuff, or how are you selecting the stock that's going to come to this sale, and what kind of standards you setting for the stock that comes there?
You know, Trey and I, we just when we set out last year, we didn't know how many we were going to get, and to tell you the truth, it started with the hounds. He said, Wade, we need to have a hound sale. It's never been done before for lion dogs. And we got to thinking about it, and I said, you're absolutely right. We have got to jump on it. It's a perfect opportunity. We have some facilities, mutual interests, and this is the time to do it. And, you know, to tell you the truth, there's not very many of us that have hounds for lion and bears when you think about it compared to everything else. If you took a guy that had hound dogs versus a guy that had a set of golf clubs, my goodness, we might not even make 1% of that.
Right.
And the hound deal was to be able to come together and have a sharing of genetics, ideas, and lineages from generations of doing that sport. And tell you the truth, I think last year we grew it. We had great interest. Everybody kind of was a little bit standoffish. It's never been done before. We had some people that went ahead and went out on a limb with us and consigned, and everybody was happy. And this year, it seems like everybody's been all about it and supportive. I got to thank the hound dog community and all the houndsmen. My goodness, they've been behind us on this whole thing and enjoyed every second of it. And we know most everybody. And if we don't know most everybody, somebody we know does know. And it's pretty easy to just visit with them to understand their hounds and their style and see if those hounds would work in a sale like ours. And tell you the truth, it's just talking to them and personal communication and we can tell if maybe that dog might be better suited for a different place than ours. But that's usually just how we do it. Just we don't have a by the rule book or anything like that. We just visit with them and see if they would fit well for us.
Well, I guess are you guys selling broke dogs? You selling starter dogs? You selling pups? Do you have different classes? How are you breaking that up?
We do. We have different classes. We have some little puppies. Last year we had kind of an interesting scenario. We sold some puppies from Steve Biggerstaff in utero, so they weren't quite born yet. But he keeps them till they're 3 months old. Yeah. So we sold like, let's say we were going to sell female number 1. So what would happen was that guy would get the first pick of all the females out of the litter and kind of break it down that way.
So you were selling puppies that weren't even born yet.
We're selling puppies that weren't even born yet. Now this year we happen to have those puppies born, so it's a little more standard procedure. But last year we had coach on everybody and let them know that nope, the deal's fine. They just, the way the scheduling of events was, they happen to not be born yet, but you're going to have a hound coming. So that's how we handled that. And then we do started dogs. We have a lot of interest in that. It's great to see all the young hunters up and coming that are interested in the sport. We felt like it would be a great place to equip them and they could feel comfortable with what they were buying. So many times a young man is out there looking for hounds and he's willing to listen to anybody and everybody because it's kind of a closed lip sport. There's not a lot of information out on there.
Right.
There's not like you can Google lion hunters, but nobody says, hey, this is how you're going to catch lion. And it's just black and white. It's a lot of word of mouth and just being experienced. And we wanted to be able to have a place where, if you wanted a finished dog or you wanted to get a pack of started dogs, you could come and purchase with confidence and know the deal's going to work out for you.
So when somebody shows up there, not only you're not just taking a hound, most of the guys that have got hounds there on consignment, they're going to be on the grounds where people can meet them as well.
Absolutely. So,
Yes,
we're going to have quite a few. Friday's going to be a big day. In fact, might have to hire me an assistant manager to get to everything, but we're going to have a big trail ride and that's going to be a lot of fun. And then my house is just across the street and we rope a lot. So I'm going to have a lot of steers there. We're going to have some rope horses consigned. We got a couple mules rope on them. And if anybody, let's say somebody misses the time for the trail ride, I know it's early in the morning. Sometimes we like to rest a little bit. Just come down to the house. We'll ride your mule around and make sure everything's okay, and we can rope on the horses and then all day on Friday we'll have hounds coming in, and then we'll probably start 4:30 or 5:00. We're gonna have a big tent set up next to our pavilion with drinks and catering and everything, and that's gonna let everybody sit down and visit with houndsmen and see what they have to offer for them and just kind of a meet and greet. And like Trey said, it's kind of a reunion / rendezvous of all the old class houndsmen.
Cool. Well, Trey, you and I
Yes,
talked a little bit. I kind of described some of the events back east, and
yes, sir.
what people should not expect is to show up and see big chain gangs of dogs tied out.
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir.
anything like that. You guys are
we
particular.
we're we understand that like Wade said a second ago, it's kind of a closed lips. I mean, it's my gosh, you call a lion hunter and try to get information out of them. It's like you better take your crowbar, kind of. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
And there's lots of guys that are real quiet. They just kind of, the guys that catch a lot of lions are, they're pretty quiet, sneaking through the hills, and they're sometimes they're just more to themselves. And now we understand that there's plenty of guys that hunt that are sure enough good hunters and they got really good dogs that hunt here in the Southwest but yeah, like Wade said, we talked to them and we'd like to get to know them a little bit before we just accept any dog, and we for the most part we know people are good, but we want a good solid product from reputable guys.
I'll say it for you, Trey. Don't be calling, trading Wade to dump your calls and think you're going to make consignment at this sale.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yep.
Because
that's exactly right.
That's not going to happen. And I think that's why you guys are going to be so successful in the long run, by building a reputation on quality. And just talking to both of you, I can tell that you're personable guys, that you're not just selling somebody a dog or consigning a dog. You're trying to build a relationship and bring this hunting community together and give them a place where you can come with confidence and and know that you guys are going to have the best stock, the best hounds that you can find to put in this sale.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. We see a lot of people every week. You know, we're in the sale barns and we go to the ropings and we're out and about a lot. So Wade and I would like to think that we understand the trading game. You know, we're not real green on that end, I don't think. So we want to keep it clean. Yes, sir. We want there to be good product there, because we went to plenty of horse sales. We went to plenty, we've gone to a lot of cow sales, and we've seen a lot of good stock, and we've seen a lot of really bad stock,
Sure.
So we don't want that. We want good, reputable guys that are good on that care about the dogs and understand the lineage and understand how to breed them and know how to hunt them and are successful doing it. And that's the way we'd like to keep it.
Good deal.
Yeah, absolutely. We've also been on the receiving end of them bad trades too. So
yeah,
it's there. Let you know we kind of smell the deal coming along and say, man, I just don't know if this is quite going to work for us. We might have to hold off and go in a different place. So
Sure.
yes, sir.
Sure.
We've seen every, trade auctioneers world class level. In fact, I was trying to talk him into going to the LMA auctioneering championship again, but I don't know if we're going to get to it this year. And me growing up in a sale barn, I'm pretty sure we've seen about every type of deal tried to be pulled, good or bad. So it's not
Sure.
doesn't take us too long to figure out what's happening. If
Right.
it's even if it's good or bad, if it's a good deal, we jump right on it. If it's a bad deal, we just kind of go ahead and back out of it and let it go its own way.
Right. Well, let's what other events you got going on besides just the sale? You got any after hours things going on? I mean, is this kind of like an event? Let's talk about local attractions, for tin horns like me flying into Durango. That's, I've been to Farmington and that area and hunted the Navajo but what else is going on? I mean, if this isn't enough for somebody to want to drive up there and check out what you got going on, tell us what else is happening besides the sale.
Well, we'll have the local cow sale there the following Monday if you're.
We will have a stay over it that Sunday.
We'll be picking up trash Sunday after the sale around, getting ready for the cow sale on Monday.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
No, Wade would know a lot about that. There's, hey, if you like to fly fish, the San Juan River right there, huh, Wade?
Oh man, I grew up
class.
World class. It is.
Yeah.
They say, I've had guys. I was so fortunate to grow up real close to it here, and I've had people. It's amazing the people you'll meet at outdoor events like that. Just somebody in the parking lot. Parked next to you while you're putting on your waders and stuff. And there's guys fished all over come back here and say they've never experienced a fly fishing expedition like they have out here. It's
Wow.
incredible. It's San Juan River quality waters right below Navajo Dam. I mean, it is unreal. I can't even begin to describe it. It is not uncommon if you go on a float trip to catch 50 to 70 fish in a day.
Wow. Yeah. That's cool.
It's a good time.
I heard something about a steak dinner, and did I get some bad information?
Well, we can feed you some good fajitas and a margarita.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's just as good right there. All right.
And, it's better, amigo. You can have steak anytime. You can't quite have any green chili like back east like you can.
No doubt.
And why you can.
Yeah, when I come out there, I live on it, and my wife isn't of the same palate. She's like, you could eat Mexican every day, and I was like, well, heck yeah, Mexicans do. They eat it every day.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Not at all. I mean, that's some of the best food and the best culture of people that I've ever met. And so, yeah, absolutely. What about lodging? Where's the closest lodging for people coming in?
Right in Farmington, and we have some hotels rooms booked at the Holiday Inn Express. It's not too far from the sale barn. Farmington's about, I'm gonna say 13 miles away from the sale ring, so it's real close by.
And
there's a room block there at the Holiday Inn, and it's the Horsehound and Mule sale room block. So.
All right. Well, I've got the inside. Since this isn't going to come out until the 8th, I'll make sure I get my room booked.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, what are we missing?
Yes, sir.
What else? What else you want to throw on this thing?
I wanted to interject the one. We didn't talk much about the horses, but
right. Yeah,
we
everybody's got horses.
Everybody's got horses.
No,
yes,
I'm
sir.
kidding.
Lots of people got. Yeah, I know, but we got some good horses coming, and like we said earlier, there's not as many of them as the mules, but good ranch horses and good using horses, and people that want to hunt off of a horse and don't particularly want to ride a mule. We got a selection of horses there for you too. So if you're looking for a horse, we'll have several.
We one of the best horses I ever hunted off of. I used to coon hunt off of when I was a teenager. Is a little, believe it or not, it was an Arab Mustang cross. That sucker was tough as nails and just as dependable as he could be. He was something. And you don't think
sounds tough. Yeah,
he
sounds tough. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But so what kind of horses, when you say ranch horses, I mean, are you guys going to have any of the Mustang? You know, I know Chris Todd over towards Kingsman, Arizona, you know, he hunts off of Mustangs. And have you got any stock like that, or is it going to be quarter horse stock, or what we're looking at?
It'll be all quarter horses so far.
Okay.
These are, you know, we right, there's a lot of ranch country there, and we grew up doing that, and know a lot of the guys that every one of them that's got a horse in there we know. So all of them rope, and we'll know all them guys with the horses. So they'll be mostly just ranch horses, and I think there's 2 horses that have been hunted on and that are going to come, so that are there consigned right now, and I think 3 or 4 coming out of Arizona that have been used to catch wild cattle, and they've been hunted free casted dogs, and them boys that are bringing them horses are sure enough big time lion and bear hunters there in Arizona.
Great.
Yes, sir.
You going to have any tack or anything like that on the sale, or is it strictly stock and hounds?
Oh no, we're going to have lots of tack.
Okay, good deal.
Our good friend Wyatt Hirschberger, I think he's going to bring his tack. It's more cowboy tack coming out of Arizona, but also we got a gentleman coming from Missouri that is bringing a lot of mule tack and Amish handmade tack, and so we'll have a lot of stuff there for everybody. You could shop, you can go downtown and buy you some turquoise jewelry for your wife to get you out of the doghouse, and then you could go over there and get you some mule tack and buy you a hound, and you can be set up to go do whatever you need to do in 2 days right there.
Oh man, I'm gonna need it.
Sir.
I'm gonna need some of that turquoise jewelry, but I have found that my wife's onto that whole game. You know, when I walk in the house and the first thing I show her is turquoise jewelry, she runs out and checks the kennel to see what kind of hound I got.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It'll get you out of a jam.
It's the thought that counts, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was thinking, I bought these earrings before I even bought the hound.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely.
What else we got? Wade?
You know, we're going to have, it's kind of going to be a kind of a hangout there. We're going to have there Friday night. I have a feeling it'll be kind of one of those things. Everybody will stay after the sale. We're going to have drinks for everybody, pretty relaxed environment, trying to get some live music there. So it kind of be more of a hangout after the sale. And
yes,
and after Saturday morning before the sale, I'm going to have a trailer there to ferry stuff back and forth to my house. Like I said, it's not a quarter of a mile from the sale barn, but kind of some people need to ride stuff last minute to confirm or deny either way. but we're just gonna keep walking along with our sales schedule, and I have a feeling it'll be pretty busy 2 days or 3 days. Really, it starts to really get busy on Wednesday for us, but I have a feeling Thursday and Friday will be two big days for buyers and consigners alike.
Yep.
Yes. And for people that aren't going to be able to make it to the sale, we will have the sale broadcasted live on it's CCI.live, and you can get on there. You can watch. You can register to bid.
No kidding.
For people that.
Cool.
Oh yeah. We're going to have internet bidding there, so you can register to bid. And the one thing, we're going to sell the Hounds Friday night. I thought we talked about that, but we may not have. We wanted to. Last year we had our sale the second weekend of August, and this year we're going to have it. Obviously the 21st and 22nd of July. We did that because the bear hunts start in Arizona August the 1st, I believe.
Right.
And we missed some of those bear hunters, and a lot of those guys wanted to watch the sale, and they weren't able to because they were in hunting camp. Mm-hmm. So if you're not going to be able to make it to the sale, you can get on there and you can watch, and you can call us, and when you register to bid online, if you do register to bid, be sitting by your phone, an hour or two before the sale, because we will be calling you to make sure that it is a legitimate person behind the credit card. We want to make sure that nobody's doing anything that, they don't, if it's a fraudulent deal or whatever, we don't want nobody getting in a jam. So we sure enough want everybody by the phone, so we can call and visit with you for just a second, make sure that's actually you behind the credit card. So, but you don't have to put your credit card information in to watch the sale. You can get on there and watch the sale Friday night, watch the Hound sale, and then log in again Saturday and watch the Mules and horses sale. So, yes, sir.
Well, good deal, guys. I appreciate you taking time to come on the podcast and talk some different type stuff. I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. I think it's it's going to be an event that's going to continue to grow and benefit the Western, especially the Southwestern Houndsmen. So kudos to you guys. Good job.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having us on.
Oh, you bet.
It's a pleasure getting to be on this. So we're grateful.
Yeah. Anytime. Like I said, we'll have to have you come back on, and let's just, when you're not up against the show bill dates and all that other stuff, then we're gonna talk mules and how to select a good one, and maybe work through some of that stuff too. So, all right.
You'll just have to come out with us one of these days.
I'd love to.
I like that plan.
I'd love to.
Yep. You betcha.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Houndsman XP podcast. Make sure you're checking out our website at houndsmanxp.com. We've got all of our merchandise there. We've got, I'll just make a shout out for something that's really cool. And I'm not sure why people aren't looking at this, but we've got a custom made belt knife sheath that fits a case trapper. And that's a handy thing to have on your belt. I carry it all the time. We've got tumblers, we've got t-shirts, we've got hats, we've got all that stuff. Make sure you're checking that stuff out. We appreciate every one of you that's made the launch of our new store a success, and it's time to reorder some stuff. But check it all out at houndsmanxp.com. Make sure you're shopping with our sponsors, because they support you. They support this lifestyle. This is the Houndsman XP podcast. This is Fair Chase.